And why do you like it?
Oh, it's just good.
Okay.
It's easy to use, and it just tastes good with the Twilight. It's got to be Twilight, though.
Okay. The Velton's Twilight blend.
Yeah, the Velton's Twilight. So, all you have to do is have hot water, too. So I like this for traveling.
Okay.
That's looking good. So, I think it's good. I'm not, every time I make it a little bit different.
Okay.
I'm just going to dump that all in there.
Whoa.
A scoop and a half.
Okay.
Is what I have done it with.
Now Gail loves a strong cup of coffee, doesn't she?
I have done it even worse than that.
Okay.
So you put the water in. That might be even too much. Every time I do it, I kind of just, let's see.
Eyeball it a little bit.
Yeah, I eyeball it a lot. Not just a little bit. I like it with half and half, so I already have the half and half in my cup.
Ooh, you're going to extract into the half and half.
You bet.
Very fancy, Gail.
Then I don't have to use a spoon to stir it. That's why. Watch it overflow this little cup. This is my cow cup. I like these at work. At home I use a different configuration that's very similar in size.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
Cool.
That's a nice cup of coffee.
Cool. All right. So that is the AeroPress featuring
Strength is good too.
the Twilight with a little bit of half and half. So what do you like about it?
Well, I bought it truly because it's really pretty.
You like the design of it? Okay.
And I usually only make it on the weekends because it's kind of a long process.
Okay.
Just to let you know, I am not as precise as some of you will like me to be. I do what I want.
Okay.
And it may not come out how you like it, but I like it.
Okay, cool. All right. So why don't you lead me through your what you're gonna do here, what you've got set up.
Okay. So here's my little Chemex filter. I'm gonna put the coffee in before I wet it.
Okay.
I just kind of measure it with my eye.
And you ground that to like a fine drip consistency.
Yep.
And that's the Twilight, the Velton's Twilight.
Velton Twilight, my favorite.
Okay. So you just eyeball it.
Eyeball it.
Okay. And we've got our Bonavita going over here to the left.
Yep.
So the water is done boiling. Just right off the boil.
Oh, see?
Oh.
See, not precise. Not precise.
But this is Bunny on a Sunday morning, right?
Yep. Might add a little Bailey's to it.
Oh, that's nice. So you're just like shooting from the hip here.
Yep.
How do you decide when you're going to stop adding water? Like
When
do you
I'm
just
scared
say,
it's going to overflow.
Really? So you're just like, I just keep going. Okay. Do you go by time or anything like that? Or are you just like, all right,
No.
I'm good. Okay.
I'm winging it.
All right.
Because at 11 a.m., I really need my cup.
All right. So we're done brewing. Gonna throw that to the sink.
Somebody else will pick it up.
I'm excited for this delicious cup of coffee.
Oh, it's going to be delicious. It's made with Bunny Love.
That's the brand of my carrots.
Really?
Yeah. Bunny Love carrots. Hot?
Hot, but it's good. Well, I think it's good.
That is good.
See? It's good even if it's not precise.
Exactly. And what do you like about it?
What I like about it is the fact that because it's a metal filter, it doesn't suck out all the oils in the coffee, and I know some people don't like that, but
Okay.
for me, it gives me a bolder, brighter cup of coffee.
Okay.
So I like those oils.
Got it.
And then I think it's also really cool because it has this metal microfilter. So unlike other French presses, you don't have to plunge it or anything. It just floats around, and you don't really get any silt in the coffee either.
Okay.
It's like magic.
All right. And so you have your coffee in here. We did a grind, like a fine drip grind.
Yep.
How much do you have in there?
I have about 8 scoops.
8 tablespoons
Yeah,
or
8
so?
tablespoons. I use this guy. I mean, it's about 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
So yeah, for every scoop or tablespoon, it's about a cup of water.
Okay.
What I'm doing is I'm just going to fill it up to the max line
Got it.
right there.
And then how long are you going to let it hang out?
I'm going to let it hang out for about 5 minutes. It's between like 4 to 8 minutes, but I'm just going to do it right in the middle for about 5 minutes, and
Okay.
I usually get a pretty good cup of coffee. So like I said, I'm just going to pour it into the max line. There's really no real technique that I do with it. I just pour. And if everyone's seen me pour before, yeah, I really shouldn't have a technique. I can't really get in the middle.
That's okay, Allie. We love you anyway. Ooh, you're steaming up the camera here.
Hey.
We got a whole liter of water in there, though, so I think we're good. Okay, so we're going to wait 5 minutes, and we'll be back for a taste test.
Let's
You ready to
see.
pour it out and taste her up? So you, because we have a filter, right, you don't have to take that out.
Nope, not
Okay.
Not at all.
If you
Kind
don't
of a
want
nice
to.
thing. Look at that. It's a little lighter. You know, I could have added a few more minutes to it if I wanted it a little darker. But look at that. See, there's, I don't know if you can see it, but there are oils on top of it, and I really like it just because it makes the flavor a little bolder.
Okay.
And it's smooth. To me, I think it's a really smooth cup of coffee. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's good. I don't think I would...
Make it stronger or anything? The color's just a lot different than what I'm used to, but it definitely is a strong cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And it's smooth.
Okay. Cool. Okay, what do you like about it?
It makes the best cup of coffee I've ever tasted ever.
Okay. And you make this basically every day. You're
Yes.
back there making it for the crew and yourself and stuff like that. Do you have any specific tips or techniques or anything?
Yeah, I actually do have a couple. And,
Okay.
And we should have our crew watch this video in case they ever want to make a pot of coffee.
Okay.
In here, I fill the basket 3/4 of the way full.
Okay.
And it makes a nice, bold cup of coffee without overflowing the basket.
Got it. Okay.
That is my one tip for the Technoform.
I know we've seen many grounds heavy coffee carafe down there.
I just think people think they need a nice and full basket if they're going to have a full pot of coffee to get the bold flavor they want, but
Yeah.
you don't need that.
Got it.
It brews a great cup.
Okay.
3/4 of the way.
And so you've got enough for 10 cups, basically, so a full pot. Any other tips that you do? Or you just start it and get it going?
I'll just get it going.
Okay. Let's have some coffee. I need some coffee
I'm going to shut this off just in case there's a little bit of
A
residual
little
left.
dribbling.
Yeah.
As it dribbles down.
Perfect as always.
That's good.
It's a very simple process.
Okay.
It's very elegant and doesn't require a lot of fancy equipment.
All right, why don't you walk me through here?
So basically, you start off, the only thing you really need
Okay.
to make Turkish coffee is this ewer called a jezba. And very, very finely ground coffee. Traditionally, you would roast it at home and you'd grind it with a mortar and pestle till it was almost a powder.
Wow, can you show me that?
I have some pre-ground coffee because I don't have my mortar and pestle handy, but as you can see, it is exceedingly fine, much finer than you would use for espresso. It's almost a powder.
Oh yeah,
almost
it's
a
like
talcum-like
yeah, very
consistency.
talcum. Okay, yeah, very fine.
So there's a little bit of an art to making Turkish coffee, but it's certainly not a science.
Okay.
It's purely an art.
Got it.
So we're going to pour into the jezba the amount of water based on the number of cups of coffee we want to make. So let's make 4 cups because it's about right for this jezba. The jezbas are sized according to how much coffee you want to make. So
Okay.
we'll put in 4 cups and 1 for the pot. So in order to make Turkish coffee, there's basically there's a number of different ways to do it. Depends on which part of the world you're from.
Okay.
They make it differently in Iran than they do in Armenia, than they do in Turkey or Greece or Serbia.
Okay.
I'm going to do the Serbian version because that's where my family's from. And
All right.
that's basically how I saw old ladies making coffee there. So
Okay, so this is Serbian Turkish coffee.
This is Serbian Turkish coffee.
Okay.
So we're going to put the water onto the hot plate and bring it to a boil. And once it's up to a boil, then we add the coffee. And then we let it come back up to a boil again and then remove it immediately. So it's a little bit of watching the coffee.
So we've got a rolling
We've
boil
got
here.
a rolling boil. So let us add our coffee. And as I said, this is an art, so we just sort of mound it up in here. Give it a quick stir. Maybe another quick stir, why not? Mm-hmm. And then we will let it return to a boil. It'll not take very long because it's just off the boil.
You want a rolling
there it
rapid
is.
boil?
Return to the boil,
Okay.
and we let it boil up so we get this nice layer of foam on the top.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pour it out.
pour it out. Now there's two schools of thought. You can let the grounds settle in the cup or you can let the grounds settle in the pot. But either way, you want to let the grounds settle out. It'll leave a fine sludge in the bottom of the pot or cup. And,
What school do you belong to, Rade?
well, I'm pouring it right into the cup. So I'm going to settle the grounds into the cup.
In the cup kind of guy? Okay.
Besides, being able to sort of strain the grit with your teeth when you're drinking it, and then cleansing the palate with a glass of brandy is the traditional way.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, you can drink coffee by itself, but traditionally, it's part of a bigger hospitality sort of thing where you serve the coffee, have some brandy.
It has
some
a real
smoked
ritual
meat.
behind
Yeah,
it.
it's really sort of the antithesis to sitting in your basement with your microprocessor controlled espresso machine bragging on the internet about the shots you pull. It's sort of,
It's the antithesis of that, yes. So, how long do we wait? Can we dive in at any
go
time?
for it.
Okay.
if you don't mind a little grit in your teeth.
I don't. I haven't had breakfast yet, so give me a little roughage.
Cheers.
That's good.
It's quite good. You can definitely taste the grit, but the flavor, you wouldn't think boiling coffee would give you a nice flavor.
No, Everybody's like, oh, you have to have it at a specific temperature.
Nah.
That's good.
The ends justify the means.